After the Civil War, there was World War I. This war was started in 1914 and ended in 1918. The war started because of nationalism, militarism, and the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. In World War I, they had the development of sanitation and medicines to prevent diseases. They created medicines that prevented diseases like typhoid. Also, they figured out how to fight bacterial infections from spreading, and that helped them take care of patients. The death rate before this innovation was over the roof because many deaths were caused by people dying of diseases. And when they found this, the death rate went down significantly. Another innovation during this time was the blood bank. Blood banks are widely used around the world right now, but it all started in World War I. It was not perfected till later, and it still had a lot of problems, but you cannot go into something expecting perfection. This is how World War I influenced modern medicine. After World War I, there was yet another world war that had significant impact on medicine. World War II took place from 1939 to 1945 between the Allies and Axis powers. In the end, the Allies won. The major cause of this war was fascism, which is a form of government they did not want to be there. One of the medical aspects of this war started when Sir Alexander Fleming created penicillin. Penicillin is a medicine that would help fight off infections to keep things clean, and also allowing people to fight diseases better. After this, the death rate went down significantly. Another advancement was something that happened in World War I, but was perfected during World War II. Blood transfusions. It started where they could only use type O because it was the universal donor. They eventually figured out how to match up the bloods, and were able to help many soldiers that would have died without it. This is how World War II helped the advancement of medicine. The next war was the Korean War, which was fought between North and South Korea. This evolved when North Korea invaded South Korea. The US was on the side with South Korea. An advancement that came around when this war took place was the Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, also known as MASH. This unit cut fatality rates for wounded soldiers from 4.5% to 2.5%. The MASH transports over 20,000 casualties during this era. This helps show how fast transportation after being hurt can help save lives. Hence, why we have helicopters and ambulances in plenty of cities today. During this time, they also learned how cold affects one's body. This helped people develop safer clothes for those out in the field from staying warm. This is how the Korean War helped the advancement of medicine. The next war is the Vietnam War. This war began in 1954 and ended in 1975. This war was between North and South Vietnam, and the cause was trying to prevent communism from spreading in the country. This war held a great deal of importance to the advancement of transportation. The transportation that was a big deal during this time was the emergency medical system, also known as the EMS. This was a pre-hospital care by the paramedical professions. They had 160 helicopters, and before this war, they never used helicopters. This innovation helped the death rate go down significantly. The next innovation was nurses. Along with young men of the war, there was also women. They would go around bandaging up wounded soldiers and doing all the caretaking. That way, the soldiers could go back to fighting. Those are the innovations of the Vietnam War. Lastly, there are the two wars in the Middle East. The Afghanistan and Iraq wars happened in the 2001 to 2013 time period. The main cause of this war was the 9/11 attacks in the United States, and none of the sides actually won, they just never admitted defeat. They both happened simultaneously, but they had their own set of medical advances. The medical advancement in the Afghan war was how to manage pain and how it affected someone. One observation they had was that people with a lot of physical pain tended to be more unstable, which means that their mental health wasn't as well as others. And that made the doctors realize that these two things were directly related. Now, in the war in Iraq, they learned about battlefield dressings. This means the cloth that they used to bandage wounds. The most modern was something you could fit into your pocket. Signort stated in his article that it inserts up to 92 medical sponges into the wound and can halt bleeding within 15 seconds. Those are the medical advances of the modern wars.